Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and I am the Bookish Artist, and I am here today with my newest Myers pen, which is their eyedropper or dip pen type one, and it is the Antoinette. So I have looked at this one a few times and I've been asking Alan about it because I'm really interested in the style. It's like different, and he like named it after a friend of his who kind of designed it with him. And so this one he kindly sent to me because I've been asking, and he said, you know, if you want to check out the Antoinette, before I make you a version of it for yourself, I'll send you this one. And this is the one he had, and this is in their Cosmic Fusion. So it is, and I was like, yes, that one's beautiful. So this is their Cosmic Fusion blank. It is dark purple with gold, and it's just beautiful. So I kind of want to compare it with the other ones that I have from them, but it's got kind of a like hump and a hump, kind of where you hold it like a paintbrush. So it's got it's tapered here, and then it gets bigger, and then it tapers again. So it's got like a grip right here rather than like a normal grip. So I'm really excited to try this out, and I want to do all the things with it. So I will grab my other Myers pens and a couple pens that are kind of compare it to, and then we will get into the nitty-gritty. Okay, so I have got a lot of different pens here. I just kind of grabbed what I have. This is my Esterbrook SD, the normal size Esterbrook. This is going to be, I'm going to put the Antoinette right here. So it is a little shorter than the Antoinette, or it is a little shorter than the Esterbrook with its cap on. Here's the TWSBI. It is about the same length as a TWSBI capped. This is my big guy that I designed, and this one is the MK model, but this is the regular size MK model, which is based, like the start of it was their Alpha, and their Alpha is their biggest pen. So this is big, and this is a big boy. And then their Mia Petite, and then their Alpha Petite. So these are all Myers pens. These are different options if you're looking. So the Alpha Petite and the Antoinette are about the same size. I really liked the idea of having a shorter pen. I really like the size of the Alpha Petite. So then I also have a Pilot Kakuno, and I did want to pull out one of my Kaweco Sports since that one's going to be shorter. So you can kind of see it is like with the cap on, they're all varying. But now, like, this is the thing about the Antoinette that I found really fascinating. So this doesn't have, so you grip it right here, and the cap, it doesn't have, so he sent it to me without a nib because he knows that I like to put my own nibs in them. Then this takes a size 6, but the nib itself goes right into the unit. So I will show you that. I'm going to look through and pick out one of my nibs and kind of decide. But you can't put a converter in this one. It is eyedropper filled or dip pen only, which is different than I've ever seen before. And so it's kind of like one of those, but it's so comfortable because this, you don't have to worry about up here. You're holding it like you would a paintbrush. So I'm very excited about this, especially for artwork and things. So okay, so as you can see, I kind of threw these out. I have this like little jewelry box that I keep all my nibs in. And you can see in here, like this is my Monteverde one. You can see I take them apart quite often. And so I have a lot of different nibs. This is actually an ASV nib, which is funny that it's in my Monteverde. But I think it's an ASV nib in a Monteverde Yovo nib unit, which would be interesting. Is it? No, that is not. I lied. Ha ha. See, because if I did the Omniflex, it fits right in there. Let's see. Maybe? Well, maybe Monteverdes are bigger. Hang on. Ooh, we're going to find out. We're going to find out together. So there's an Esterbrook. Yeah. Okay, so Monteverde nibs are bigger than that. So it just sticks right in there. So you could essentially use this just as a dip pen, or you could use it as an eyedropper. So you just drop your ink right into here. The only thing that I would say is maybe in one that I custom order from them, I'd want it a little bit transparent, because looking down there, I can't see how much ink I have, which can be kind of annoying, but at the same time, like, not really. I have a couple of my other pens that are opaque like this are eyedropper, and I wanted to see that nib, but I do think that this nib that I got from Heinz Pen Company, that's a purple, I think that will look really great in here. And yeah, I'm thinking that will look, oh, look at how pretty that is. So yes, Heinz Pen Company, you can get nibs that are plated in a color, and I love using them in my pens. So that's what that looks like. So then you just put the cap on, but you would have to, and it could be messy. It could be a little bit messy if you're using this as an actual filled pen, because to refill it, you have to take the nib off. And I mean, to refill a regular pen, like to refill my Kaweco, I have to just take this off. And then I have to pull out the converter, or this one I actually have a cartridge in right now. This is a Faber-Castell cartridge. But interestingly enough, if I have this posted, because I don't know about you, but I don't use my Kawecos not posted. So posted, my Kaweco Sport posted with this Antoinette is about the same, but this is a Jowo 6 nib, which is what I like more. So that's a really good thing to look at. But yeah, so I kind of, as I'm dropping things on my floor, I kind of want to show you, this is something that I started doing. So I have all my nibs and all my things here. I've got all of my TWSBI silicone grease right in here. And yeah, so I will say that once I decide what I'm going to eyedropper, because I am going to eyedropper fill this after I do a couple dip nib testings and seeing how it works. But yeah, so then let's see this. I kind of want to see how it stacks up to the other pens. My Esterbrook is thinner and shorter. Mia Petite, this is one of my longest pens. Mia Petite is longer, but not very much. So it would be nice to see, because this is I think of all of them, this Alpha Petite is one of my favorite sizes. Yeah, so it's about the same size. And then I love this one, the Alpha, or not the Alpha. This is the MK. This is my based off of all of my choices, and that's actually really similar in grip and everything, which makes sense. It's made by the same company. So as I have my big giant mess here, I'm going to clean that up and I'll be right back. I also just wanted to say, I don't have any of those fancy like little tool things that people have, like the calipers and the measurers. I just go based on what is comfortable and does this feel comfortable in my hands. And so I kind of hold my pens. I am left-handed. I don't know if you can tell, because I mean, I am left-handed. So I do hold my pens and my pencils and things a little bit different, but I like to rest it right here, and then I like to hold it. So I mean, this is very, very comfortable, because it's got that taper right here. And the taper, the way it works, does feel very much so like a paintbrush. And so it does feel really, really good in my hands, like a nice thick marker even. Like maybe, what is that brand? I can't think of the brand of marker. Winsor & Newton. Winsor & Newton makes these watercolor markers. That feels really, really a lot like that, or like a Copic, not a Copic, no, Hoo-Hoo marker in my hand, which I love using. So this honestly for me will be really comfortable, and I really like it. Honestly, a thick grip section like this, I would totally have that. But honestly, I mean, eyedroppers don't bother me that much. So I honestly, like looking at this, may get a second Antoinette. They have this really beautiful rainbow transparent blank that they've shown and a pink transparent blank. That would be really pretty in an eyedropper like this. Yeah, and it is a weird pen. This is not a pen that I think is going to be for everyone. This is definitely one of those like unique like pens that you're not going to find everywhere. And that's the one thing I love about working with these smaller pen companies, is that you do get these really kind of cool pens. And I can work with him. Like I've worked with Alan already on one pen, and it was really like, this is what I like in the pen. Can you do this? Can you do that? So I customized this pen to be exactly like what I want in a pen. And quite honestly, holding this, I honestly wish like the grip section is a little bit thicker in this. And I honestly am like, oh, maybe the next time we could have a bigger grip section, because like this is really comfortable for me. Yeah, it's interesting just looking at the two grip sections. Oh, and he had a an Opus 88 nib that he gave me, but I ended up getting this one from Heinz Co. as well. And then I put the Opus 88 in this one because I thought it looked really, really beautiful with that black nib. I love switching my nibs out. I am constantly switching my nibs. So, but I thought that looked really beautiful with my Cafe au lait pen. I still cannot believe I designed a pen and then like, yeah, but this swirly, I love the swirls, and there is such depth and facets. Like there's this beautiful pink down here and just some really pretty colors. So I picked some different inks to work with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch each ink, and then I'm going to dip this and try it out and write with it and show you that you can just, I mean, really, you could just leave this as a dip pen and have a really fancy dip pen, like if you wanted. I will definitely ink this bad boy up, but I am trying to decide which ink. So I picked out, knowing what color I was getting, I picked out some inks getting the pen, and I think they're going to work really great. But oh my gosh, I just love this. When he told me this is the color that he had, I was like, yes, please throw that my way. Please. Because it is, this Cosmic Fusion is a really beautiful blank. So if the Antoinette's not a model that you like, you can reach out to him and on Instagram or Facebook, or I think even on his website he has a space, but you can reach out to him and you could say, hey, I want that blank, but I want this model. Like, he will work with you so fast. And he's so fast, like honestly so fast. Okay, so I am really, like, when I'm picking inks, I'm trying to go with inks that I haven't used as often or as used as much, so, or I haven't used lately. So today I have for Robert Oster, I'm doing Gold Antiqua, because this is one that I haven't done in a long time, and I thought it might be really pretty with that gold. So I am going to do a little swatch, and I'm using my little bunny stir stick that, yes, I got on Amazon. I love it. Bunnies are like my thing. I love them so much. And I do have my two different waters. So just letting you know, and my spoon from the Dollar Tree that I'm going to use today rather than the paper bag. I like to have it a little bit more controlled sometimes. And I've watched so many different people, but I know that the spoon I feel like the spoon came from Hi Julia here. But yeah, I've seen lots of people take their own spin on these things. So now I'm gonna dip this, and I'm gonna move this, since I am left-handed, I am gonna move this and get it all set up for myself. And I can't find my blotter paper, so I'm just using a piece of my Kokuyo paper. This is my Hoenishi. Like, I have all my ink swatches and everything. So I'm gonna just dip this bad boy right in. And I'm gonna... Now, I know this nib works really well because I've already used this nib. This is a nib, but I'm really feeling how this pen feels in my hand. This is an extra fine nib. Oh my gosh. This might be my most comfortable pen from Myers yet. Like I feel like that every single time. So maybe it's just that I really love Myers pens. Like I cannot tell you how much I love these pens. Like I have to stop myself from ordering 500 every week. I swear, not 500, but it's like everybody that gets a pen, I'm like, I want that pen too. Oh my gosh. He has this really beautiful koi pen, and he's got these like new that he just released with these koi finials up here. I'm having a really hard time telling myself no. I probably won't tell myself no, but yeah, it's just I am really blown away by these pens by Alan and his sons, and just everything about the group. Look at that. I do really love this color. I haven't used this color in a while, and it's such a beautiful, like it really does look, I think it does sometimes look like it's sparkling. All right, so I am gonna clean off that nib, get my, yeah, and you can see, is there any? Yeah, there's absolutely no ink in the barrel, so that's really nice. Okay, so you can use this as a dip pen, which is awesome. I'm always looking for another dip pen, but I definitely want to use this as a pen. So, all right, so that's like the gold, and that will look, oh gosh, man, I'm already like, that's probably it. That's probably the ink, but I have some other ones. So the next one is Ferris Wheel Press Hampton Harbor Sage. Now it's green, and it doesn't completely go with it, but I wanted to try it anyway. I wanted to try a couple greens. I think I have 2 greens. Because why not? But I haven't used this one in a while, and I know, like, so I did not get the cap. The one time I did not get the cap on it, and it leaked. So I have not used this ink that much. It just leaked because I spilled it. So, but if I remember correctly, this is absolutely beautiful ink. I haven't used it, and I haven't swatched it for a long time. So I'm like, what does that look like again? So I want to see it. That was half the reason I picked it, was just because I want to see it. I don't know how good it's going to look with the pen, but you never know. Who says that pens have to match, right? Okay, I really like to match my pens lately because it's nice when I have my pens matching, mostly because then I can be like, oh yeah, then I remember what color is in it, because it's based on doing things like this. But I do have no problem. So yeah, so this is the only problem, because, and it's not the pen's fault. It is the poor design choices that Ferris Wheel Press has. Like, their bottles are just beautiful, but like seriously, I'm not gonna be able to dip this. And they have those like little carousel things, but I just want to be able to dip my pen in my ink bottle. So there we go. There we go. So there's some ink. It's a little messy, but if I do choose this one will be, you know, it's an eyedropper, so I'll grab my eyedropper. But I really like this color. It is very, but it reminds me a lot. I think I'm just in the mood for these like dusty greens. It reminds me a lot of Wuthering Heights, but Wuthering Heights is far more blue and far prettier, in my humble opinion. But I think that's because I'm just obsessed with Wuthering Heights right now. I'm surprised that I'm not re-swatching that here. But is this spelt with the U? It sure is. So I don't know where you're located, but here in the United States, we spell harbor without the U. So I'm always like, oh, is it the U? Is it the not the U? But I don't think I got a big enough dip to do much more than this, but we'll try to draw a little face. Let's see. My little rock guy. I call these my little rock dudes. I draw them all the time when I am bored, or just like when I want to draw something. It's a little rock dude. Yeah, there we go. Although this is a really lovely ink. I do think that it would look really nice with this pen. However, I don't think it's the one I'm going to go with. But it never hurts to try an ink. especially getting a new swatch of it, because I swatched it in my Endless Regalia paper notebook, and the way that I did swatches in that is very different than this. So I have been trying to re-swatch the inks I'm interested in keeping, re-swatch them in here so I can actually see kind of like what they look like in the writing. And what I'm really liking about using this as a dip pen is you can really see how this ink is gonna look in writing, which would be kind of nice actually. I'm kind of talking myself into keeping this as a dip pen. No, see, I order a second one and then I can have a dip pen and one. Yeah, because Mandy needs more pens, always, 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 always. Now I went with something kind of fun and brown, and this is a pinky brown, and this is Tasha's Ume Murasaki. And I have had this in a pen a couple times, but I'm trying to remember when the last time that I had it in a pen. I can't remember, but I have been really into Tasha inks lately. If you've been watching any of my videos, you'll know that I've been really into Tasha inks, and I have only a few bottles, but this was my first bottle and my like first color of Tasha, and I just bought it sight unseen with the bottle because I saw the swatch on somebody else's swatch, like currently inked, and then I kept seeing it and I was like, oh, I like that, and so I got it. But I think that the pen I had it in just wasn't correct. And now looking at this is one that I think would be really look really nice in my winter sunset, but there is some of that like color in this too. So this might be Mandy just tests her dip pen. But look at that. That is Tasha Ume Murasaki. The nice thing about using this pen as a dip pen is that you could use just your regular nibs. And I guess you could use, honestly, you could make any of your pens a dip pen, right? Just thinking about that. It's like one of those things like when I did earlier this week, I did my painting with a watercolor brush. Like, you can do that, but do I really think of that? No, because I want to ink a pen. But having this pen where it's dedicated might be not a bad idea. Who knows? I don't know what I'm going to do. No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick an ink and I'm going to ink it because that's who I am. That is exactly who I am. Who am I kidding? And if I got a second one, that's exactly what would happen with the second one. Yeah. This one's going to be in some trees. We'll have him, but oh man, this is so comfy. Oh, we'll have him looking up there like, hey guys, I'm looking, let me see. Yeah. And then maybe another little rock guy there. I like it. I really like this Ume Murasaki. And I've only used it a couple times, and I really should use it some more. But it's a really pretty color, right? Like, it's kind of fun to see the colors I'm kind of coming up with for this. There is no green in this pen. And so, you know, the Hampton Harbor Sage. But it goes really well with the gold, although it's a silver shimmer. So maybe not. But if I wanted to go with something different, why not? So I have, let's see here, I have Birmingham's Mud Skipper, and I really honestly grabbed this because I couldn't remember what color it was, but I think it's like a deep purple. We'll find out together. That's the thing about Birmingham pen colors is sometimes I can't remember what they are, and then I'm like, oh, are they the same or not? But the more I use them, the more I realize they are really different, and they go on a different color. I don't know what kind of pigments they use, but they go onto the paper a way different color than what they dry. So, but this one was in one of their not recent, I guess like last year. It's kind of recent, but it was in one of their bundles, and they do these really cool bundles, and then it's like these colors are gone, but they don't do samples, so you just kind of have to decide, do I want them, do I not? And I think it's always hard, but they're such well-behaving inks, And they're interesting colors, and you can mix them, which is always fun, because then I'm like, ooh, maybe I want to throw in, like they have one called Tea Berry Ice Cream. That's like this really bright, vibrant pink. And it does some really interesting things to the colors. And they have some of these colors, they'll post the recipe. And so you can see that they have these like specific inks if you're not familiar. Some people are very familiar and are very big advocates of Birmingham. I am really getting into their inks more. I have I think like 8 bottles, because the few times that I've bought a few bottles, but I have a few bottles, and it's just trying to like figure out, do I like them? Should I like gift them as samples? Should I, kind of thing. But yeah, I remember liking this Mud Skipper, and it is a very, very pretty grayish purple. It's a dark gray purple, and this would look lovely in this pen. And yeah, he may be inked with this, or she. It's an Antoinette. I don't know. I don't know. I like to genderfy my things. Like all my cars have been boys, and I don't know why. I think it's because like here in the Midwest, a lot of people make their cars girls, and so I was like, no, my cars are gonna be boys. Go against the norm, because that's me. I'm kind of weird some days, a lot of days. Oh, okay, let's see here. How does that look? Oh, I love that. Ooh, Mud Skipper. See, now I'm like, ooh, Golden Tequa or Mud Skipper. Ooh, 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 ooh. And then my final one, so I only went with 5. My final one is Kaweco's Summer Purple. And I went with this because I knew I was going to do my purple nib. And this is a really, really, really wet ink. And so, excuse me, when I was looking at this, and there is something in it. What is that? Oh, did I get like a little fuzz in it? I did. Ooh, gross. But when I used this ink last, it was in too wide of a nib, and it kept bleeding and feathering. But it's such a pretty, pretty color. I really like this color. Also, shout out to Shauna at Serial Nana for mentioning she has these stir sticks, and she recommended washing this with toothpaste, and now I wash them with toothpaste, and it works really well. So thank you, Shauna, if you're watching this. I know you watch my videos from time to time, so I really appreciate that tip. And yeah, so if you're having it where it just isn't picking up the ink as much as you'd like it to, wash it with a little toothpaste. And I just scrubbed it. So yeah, that worked really well. And so I'm going to remember that trick going in the future. Ooh, yes, I love Summer Purple. See, now I'm like, ooh, Summer Purple. Which one? Which one? I actually, I spilt water on my Golden Tequa. Oh well. That's how it rolls. How we roll around here. But yeah, Summer Purple. I don't know why, because sometimes I feel like the Kaweco inks are really dry. What is that? I really want to know. I got a fuzz or something in there, and I'm like, I don't want it to stay in my ink because, oh, see, it's like a weird fuzz. And it's definitely not mold. It's a piece of paper. I got a piece of paper in my ink, and I don't want to stay in there so it molds. Yes, I got a piece of paper in my ink. Me. I am pure chaos. Kaweco, not Kaweco Sport. Yeah, their Sport. Their Sport pen has an ink. No, it's Kaweco's Summer Purple. Summer Purple. It is such a smooth color because it's so wet, and which is really nice with an extra fine. I don't use extra fine nibs all that often, but sometimes I do want an extra fine. Oh, let's see. Yeah, look at him. Isn't he cute? Yeah, maybe. He's very happy to be a rock. So like feeling the inks, like looking at the inks, feeling them. This one is the Summer Purple is the most nicely flowing on this, but looking at it, like, what am I feeling? I didn't go with, I'm surprised that I didn't go with anything like a dark plummy purple. I think it's because one of the reasons, I will say, one of the reasons is I immediately thought of Wearing Ghoul's Black Cat because it's a really dark purple, or Wearing Ghoul's Persephone. But I have so many Wearing Ghoul inks inked up in pens right now that's not what I wanted. So I was like trying to like think outside of the box of colors that I haven't used. And so, I mean, really, they are kind of fun because you have some of that really beautiful, especially down here, you have some of that really beautiful light purple. If I can show it, does it? Yeah, it shows. You have some of that. And when it mixes with the gold, it gets very much so pinky, orangey. The only one that's really not jiving as much is the Hampton Harbor Sage, but I still think it looks nice next to the pen. But it's also like, you don't always have to match your ink, right? Always. I know that some people don't match their ink, and I know, like, I do know that, but I just have been in a matching mood. And so I was just trying to like look at this and decide, you know, which color, especially when you have this many colors in it, which one is speaking to me. And so like, I really like this Mud Skipper. I think that is just a really pretty ink and it works really well in the pen. The Summer Purple was working beautifully. And I like the Gold Antiqua. And just thinking about the colors I have inked, and I could look back, thinking about the colors I have inked, because these are what I have inked. Let me go back to them. I have a lot of purples already inked. I have Jane Eyre, I have Frankenstein. Black Cat is a purpley black. So like Mud Skipper is lighter because it's more brown, but it's really similar. And I do have Earl Grey. Honestly, like looking at it, I don't really have a yellow inked up. So maybe that seals it. I'm gonna do Gold Antiqua. So I do want to do this on camera and pull this off and grab I need to grab an eyedropper, so I'll be right back with that, and then we will ink this up. I should have had an eyedropper already. I don't know why I didn't, but sometimes I forget. Okay, so I have two options for eyedroppers that I want to show you. This is just a standard pipette that I get off of Amazon, and it, you know, you just suck it up, like you press and suck just like that, and it sucks up the ink. But also there's this one, and it has the same mechanism, but this one came with my Opus 88 pens because they are also eyedropper. Yeah, and I just am trying to like figure out, because this one would be less ink, and I think just as I'm like feeling this out, I want to maybe put less in just to make sure that it doesn't leak and everything. So like what I'm doing, and I will let you know as my viewers, what I am doing is I am going to film this first part, and then I am going to film the other part after a while to like come back and say, hey, this is how this worked. Because this is a newer model for them. I think they've only made a couple of these Antoinettes, and I know that it was really kind of an experimental one, but I am all about experimental pens. If I'm gonna get, you know, new pens, why not make them fun? And so I am eyedroppering this. I think I'm gonna do a couple of these fills, but really it's just drop, you know, drop, drop, drop. And I did something earlier where I took an eyedropper. Yeah, so I think that's enough fills. All right, make that really clean with my 2 water. I'm really glad somebody posted on my video, one of my other videos, where I had 2 canisters of water, and I got that trick let me see if I need to prime this. It'll be interesting. since it had water on it already. Okay, so it does have water and it's wet. So what I can do here, since I cleaned it, I'm just gonna dip it in my ink as well. And so that will keep it lubricated on both sides. But the water, like I was saying, just an FYI, the two waters is a very common thing that I learned from a watercolor gouache class, is that you have the one where you dip your brush that's dirty, and then to go back into your paint to make sure that it's not soiled, you dip it in the clean water. And so this water, the clean water, essentially will get less dirty and messy, but yeah. And I'm just gonna write that I decided to ink up my Myers Pen Co. Antoinette. And this is an extra fine with Robert Oster's Gold Antiqua. And it is flowing. It's flowing really beautifully. And I know I dipped it, but it is definitely flowing. The one thing that I did forget that I wanted to do to make sure that this stays kind of leak free. Let me see here. I have, yes, right here. I have my little guy. This is a toothpaste case, and I got it to fit my samples, but it's a little too small for my samples, but for some of my pens it fits. Okay. So what I did want to do, just to be on the safeguard, is take some of my silicone grease that I have gotten with all my TWSBI Ecos. You can get silicone grease without, but I have these all from this TWSBI Ecos, so I use them. And I just wanted to put that on inside of the feed. Oh, I am off camera. So put that on the inside. And it just creates a seal or a barrier so that ink doesn't leak out of this part. Like, it will still leak out of the nib, but it's not going to leak out of this part, especially since this is eyedroppered. So I'm going to get a little ink on my hands, but I always have ink on my hands, so what else is new? I did get my nails done because it's been a while and they were looking real tough. I did them myself, but that's beyond the point. We'll see how long they last. These are like those fake nails, but I needed them to look a little nicer because they were starting to break. But that's just me. I have nail problems. Oh, yay for getting older. Yay. No, I've always had nail issues. Yay for having stuff. Yes, stuff and things. Okay. But beyond that, I don't know why I'm writing beyond that, but I want to say I greased it up the nib of the nib house. To prevent leakage. Yeah. But holy cow, I could sit and write with this pen all day. It does feel like I'm holding a paintbrush. Like, it even looks like it. It's like the flick, and twist and, you know, Bob Ross. Honing in on Bob Ross again. Oh man, my kids are obsessed with him for some reason. I don't think they've ever even watched a Bob Ross, but I feel like they've heard people talk about Bob Ross. There's no such thing as accidents or you know, or as mistakes. It's happy accidents, right? Isn't that what he says? I don't know. It's been a long time. I know we watched him in grade school growing up a few times, but yeah, it's like I can really get in there and really be loose with this. And so I'm not going to get as much fatigue when I'm writing long sessions. Alan, if you watch this, which I'm sending you this, so I'm sure you are, I really love this model. Like, this is great. I vote if you do decide to make a grip section like this. Yeah, I mean, if you decide to make a pen with a grip section like this, that'd be really cool. I know that there is, which company is it? Which pen do I have? I have a pen, I think it's Noveler. I think the Horizon, the nib, you know what, let me grab the pen. I have the pen, so let me grab it. Okay, so I have my fancy little rickshaw sleeve here. I love this rickshaw print. I want other things in it, but okay. Also, this is an accident waiting to happen. I spill things that have open containers all the time. I actually spilled one of these the other night. So yeah, but okay, so this is the Narwhal's Novelers Horizon. And so similarly, they're about the same size. This is really like dead on for the SD. And I got this because I got this from Endless. This is an Endless exclusive. I just love this pen. It's very weighty, like, which is different. But the whole point, I'm not talking about this pen. I'm talking about an idea. The way that they have the grip, and this is a piston filler. What they have the tines or the like twist right on the front of the grip. So you can like, then it twists. So would that be something, I don't know if it would be something where you could do that, where you have the grip and the twist is in the middle of the cap. So I wonder if it would be something where you could have this cap like this, but then have the grip section like come apart too, so you could do a converter. This is just a thought process. This is just my thought, but then like you still have that twist because like it still twists and seals the pen. I really do like this pen a lot. This is one that I didn't expect myself to love as much as I do, but I do, and I'm just thinking that design would be really cool where you would have, and then like lengthwise, this could be, I mean, you could make it a little longer like the Mia Petite, where you have like, the cap that goes to here, right? You have the cap here, and then you have the grip section, and the grip section just twists out here. So you have these two pieces. This is just my thought process. If other people think that might be kind of a cool thing, let me know and I will pass that along. Leave it in the comments and let me know, and I will pass it along to Alan, because if eyedroppers are, because this one honestly would make a really good eyedropper because it's see-through. And so I don't know if these are compatible, but they are. So I mean, I really could. I don't think I can actually twist my nib unit into here, because I don't think that that's the same as the housing. It could be, I don't know. Experiment time at some point, but it could be where, you know, you do have that where it twists, or like this cap just is capped on, if like it's something that you want to improve on. I don't know. I don't necessarily know that you even have to improve on it, because I really do like it. It's just thinking about like converters. I do like having the option for a converter. I like eyedropper fill pens as well because they're nice, but I like, this can be an eyedropper as well, and I do have silicone grease right on here. So that is one of those things that I'm thinking about. But then you would have, if you had the grip section, you'd still have this grip, but then your nib would still be, but your nib would be right here, And you have your grip section where you could add a little bit of length. Just like the Mia Petite, you could have that little bit of length, you know, and have this a little bit longer. Just thoughts. If anybody else has thoughts, Alan is very, very fun to work with in this way creatively, because he is willing to try things. And so it's been really fun. Like, I told him all my specifications for this and he just knocked it out of the park. So when I'm looking at this, like, I mean, you can have more length on this pen. It is a shorter pen. So you could add a little bit of length if you wanted to add a body where you could have a dip pen but still have that nice, I really like this, where you have that nice pen or paintbrush feeling. You could even, I feel like you could even get a little thicker right here and then taper out more here. There's just a lot of things that you can do. I love the idea of making these pens really unique and really, I love bespoke pens. Like, especially Alan, like, these pens have become such a favorite of mine, like all of these. And I love that I can look and be like, that blank, I see this, I see it. And like, this pen is so pretty. This was my first one, and then this was my second. And so these made me fall in love with them. And then now I'm just like, I need them all. Give me all of them. I want to try all of their styles and signatures. And so, yeah, like all of their feels. Now I want to do something while we're on camera. I'm going to shake this a lot. Okay. I really want to shake it because I shake, you know, I'm a messy person. So I'm going to shake this a little bit. And this will be my test. Then I don't have to come back. This will be my test because you're shaking that ink. I'm going to do it a lot. There is a little bit of ink in here, but not anything that's unlike these, because it is flowing from here to here. So you're going to have a little bit of leakage, but not enough that like I'm going to get messy. Again, because you're holding it here, you're not holding it on, you're not touching the nib. And this step and everything, like, you're avoiding that with this. And if you're really worried about leakage, and I could be, you know, because I do travel with these pens, you can silicone grease this bad boy right here and make sure, like, and just grease it every once in a while, which is nice for the turns anyway. I just like this little tiny baby cap. He makes me like giggle and smile so hard. I really loved this design. I think that's my spiel. That's my whole thing with this, is I really liked this design. So Antoinette, I don't know if he has any more on his website. If you really like the Antoinette, I would definitely reach out to Alan and say, hey, I want this blank in this Antoinette. But I do know that I really wanted it. It was really unique and it's really beautiful. I love the way this looks. I love this blank, and I'm really glad that I have it because it is absolutely beautiful. It's a stunner. It is a stunner. I just want to give you one more look, see. And I honestly think that, I don't know if this is one that I would have been like, I want that blank, if I wouldn't have just been like, looking at it online, because I don't know, I don't know why I would have surpassed it, because I think it's not bright. Like, I'm all about bright. And sometimes though, these elegant pens, like there is like purple glitter in here and there is silver shimmer, and it just is, it's just a stunner. This blank is a stunner. So there's also, you know, if you like the Alpha Petite, this, an Alpha Petite would be beautiful, or a Mia Petite, or even the MK model. Oh yeah, that would be a stunner too. So you like, that's one thing I really like. However, okay, so that is my spiel on this pen. I'm so excited to use it. I use my Myers pens probably the most of all my pens, besides like maybe my Esterbrook's and my Benus. Like those are my three. Like I'm like Myers pens, Benus, and Estes. Those are my favorites. So yeah, it's funny. Like I used to love TWSBI so much. I think at the end of the year when I do my top 5, I think these are definitely gonna outperform the TWSBIs by a mile. So is that ink? No, that's not ink. Okay, maybe. It might be just grease from my greasing. My greasing of the pen. That is definitely grease. Ugh, I hate the feeling of oil on my skin. Okay, so the whole thing with this was a gift from Alan. Alan is so generous to me. I really appreciate him. And I want, like, I just want you to know how much I appreciate him, and you can reach out to him on Instagram. I will post his Instagram in the description as well. But if you want to try a Myers pen and you don't want to pay all the customization fees and you don't really care, like you just want to buy a pen that will ship super fast, he is offering to my followers $10 off any of his in-stock pens on his website, and you can use Mandy10. Just full transparency, I make nothing off of these pens. He gifted me this, and he gifted me this because I gave him the design. Like I said, you can make as many of this pen as you want. There are a few left, but then he's moving on to other blanks. There are a few left. He did pour one more round of this blank, and that's it. So if this one is one you want, the link for that is there. I think there are like 3 or 4 left, but everybody should be getting their Cafe au lait pen very soon. But then we're moving on to another blank. So this was a limited run. He made 1 extra batch. We were originally only going to do 6 of this pen, and I think we ended up doing 15 or 16, something like that. Not that many. There's not that many of this pen out there, but you can really get something special. But he does have quite a few pens in stock. I've been kind of peeking. There are some abalone ones that look really beautiful that might have to end up in my cart. But yes, so I wanted to be transparent. I paid for these 2, and then he's gifted me these 2. So I'm just being 100% transparent. I'm making no money. I just really think his company is great. I really think they're a small family. They are fantastic. They really care about their customers, and they really care about these pens. Like this is a piece of art. Like it is an artist brush that's a piece of art. And I'm so grateful to have these pens because they are just phenomenal. And they're like, you can feel the love, you can feel the care. And not that there's anything wrong with a Pilot Kakuno. But I love the artistry in this, where this is a pen that I use on the go just because it's a pen, and I love the feel of fountain pens. But like if I lost this pen, whatever, it's a $10 pen. If I lost this pen, I'd be really sad. I'd be very, very, very sad if I lost these pens. So anywho, that is about it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to share today. However, if you got this far in the video and you just want to boost this so this gets out to more people like you who like to watch all of my lovely, ridiculously over-the-top crazy content, leave me a shark emoji since I was using my little shark guy. Yeah, leave me a shark emoji. If not, if you have any comments, questions, whatever, if there's a kind of video you want to see, I have some requests, so I'm going to be doing a couple things here coming up. Including like waterproof inks. I do have that one coming. I have my solo RPG. I have all the stuff, so now I just need to film and edit that video so I can post that up. So I do have content, lots of different content coming, and will continue to come. So I'm just having a lot of fun over here, just playing with pens and inks and doing my thing and drawing and taking care of my house and my kids and, teaching every few days and whatnot. But I just love this. I just love this, and I hope that you feel my passion in this because I am having just a blast over here. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all the comments and all the people. Like, it's just been so much fun to be part of this fountain pen community and journal community and art community and whatnot. I really like it. So thank you. Thank you for continuing to watch my videos. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.